Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, your Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday! How are you today, my friends? I hope you have had a fantastic weekend. We got some flowers planted, we cleaned up the garden a little bit more, we've got produce coming in, I'm so excited. So it has been a really productive weekend. So, today's project, of course, being the last Monday of the month, is Stamper Showcase! Woo-woo! Y'all know I love the Stamper Showcase blog hop, and this month's theme is all about that brand new 2020 annual catalog, which I happen to have on hand. Let me get the junk out of the way so you can see it. Here, let's remove the cover. Well, that didn't really help. I put a clear protective cover on it so that it can withstand dealing with me all year long. And of course my tabs, which I love. This catalog is absolutely amazing, and I'm not going to flip through it because, well, we've had it for several weeks now, and I've already done a walkthrough as well as quite a few other people, so I'm sure you've seen the catalog. Of course, if you haven't seen the catalog yet, if you don't have a demonstrator, leave a comment down below and I will send you a catalog, my friend. You need one if you don't have one yet. Okay, so this month's theme being all about that new catalog. Each of the designers in this month's blog hop are going to be featuring a product or collection of products that are available in the new catalog. Okay, so awesome, right? All right, so my products are the Lovely You bundle. You get the Lovely You stamp set, and I believe that's Lovely Labels punch. You know what? Let's just get into the catalog and see. It's on page 22 of the catalog. So you can see right here, the Lovely You bundle. It's the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. I knew something was amiss there. Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch and the Lovely You stamp set. Now this is a bundle, which means that you get 10% off the total cost when you purchase the two together, which is a great deal. And trust me, you're absolutely gonna want to purchase the two together because the stamp set is absolutely beautiful. It has the sentiments, which I absolutely love, the scripty and the typeset type fonts, and then it has some beautiful floral images as well. And then that punch can give you all kinds of different sizes of banners, which you're about to see in action, okay? So let me get those out of the way and show you the card. I've brought in some gold embossing, so of course I'm going to say you need your gold embossing powder. I am still using my embossing buddy, and then I'm using a pair of tweezers that are kind of a reverse grip. I love these because they hang on without me having to hang on. So it's kind of like having an extra hand. All right. And then I have a little fine detailed paintbrush. This is just to brush off any of the excess powder that gets on your card. And then, of course, you're going to use Versamark ink with that gold embossing powder. And let's get our paper supplies here. You're going to need a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 garden green scored at 4 1/4, and this is going to make our card base. You're going to need a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 inch of soft seafoam, and that's going to be our front layer. Then you're also going to need a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 inch Very Vanilla. This will be the inside panel of our card. And then these are just kind of scraps. So this one is 1 inch by 3¼ inches, and this one is 1/2 inch by 1¾ inches, and this is gold foil. So this is just a little scrap piece that we're going to tuck behind our label. All right. And then I'm also using the gold braided trim from the Forever Greenery ribbon combo pack. It comes with another really pretty vanilla kind of a gauze type of ribbon. It's very soft and beautiful. It's really wide, maybe 3/4 inch even. Anyway, I'm not using it on this project. I'm going to use the gold braided trim instead. So let us get started, shall we? The first thing I'm going to do is set all of this stuff aside, and we're going to work on that soft seafoam layer, okay? Now, I still have my embossing buddy, so I'm going to use it. If you have it, great. If you don't, then that fine detail brush is going to be your friend. So I'm just going to spread that around my card base here. And yes, this is really just a junk piece of scrap. It's just to keep things off of my work surface. Okay, now I've got a little tray, and I'm going to bring my embossing powder over, and you're going to kind of work quickly because we're covering a big space. I'm using the bigger flower piece and the 3-leaf cluster and the Versamark ink, and I'm just going to randomly stamp around the card base, okay? So I'm going to start off with the flower, and I'm just going to stamp big and far enough apart to be able to bring the leaf in after the fact. So let's do this, and I'll tell you, it's a little bit difficult to see. So you can do one set at a time if you'd like. Do all of the flower and then come back and do all of the leaf cluster if you would like. You can actually see it a little bit better in person, but not much. Okay, so now I'm going to bring the leaves in, and I'm just trying to see where my bald spots are so that I can fill them in without going over my flower. And I think I did on one of those spots, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to keep moving. And there, and let's go here and right here. Okay, let's see what that did for us. All right, now we're going to bring the tray in and spread out our gold powder. And the wonderful thing about this tray is I don't have to worry about putting on too much because I can easily just tap it off. I'll be able to see where I have some naked spots, because I'm sure I do. Yeah, we can see a couple of spots there. We're not going to worry about any of the excess powder spots just yet. That's what that paintbrush is for. We just want to make sure that we're not touching any spots that are embossed. Okay, so now we're going to come back with the leaves, and I can put one right here. And I also want to come in right here. There we go. So let's bring this back, put some more powder. That's better. And then come around and put some powder on that piece. All right, now, once you have the powder how you like it, you can take a minute to kind of breathe a little bit, because you don't have to worry about the Versamark drying out and not being able to work with your powder. So it did seem a little hurried at first when we were putting the powder on, but once you have it on, you can actually let that piece sit for however long you need it to without any worries, as long as you don't touch it, of course. Okay, so let me go ahead and set this off to the side, and then I'm gonna bring my brush in, and you'll see that I'm gonna take care of some of these little spots. And then once you take care of a section, just give it a little tap on the tray. Alright, so there we go. And we'll just nice and easy just like so. And you really can take however long you need to do this part. There's no rush at this point because it's not going to dry out on you. It's already covered in the powder. So you are a-okay to just work at your pace and get all these little spots fixed. Okay? There we go. All right. Okay, I think we're good. So now I'm going to get a hold of my clip and grab a hold of my paper. And I've got my heating tool, and it's going to get loud for just a second. I'm going to kind of hold it down out of the way to try to minimize the amount of sound. But you'll be able to see the finished piece here in just a second. Alright, here we go. Watch for the magic to happen. Woo! I never get tired of seeing heat embossing reaction. Never. I love it. There we go. Now, one thing I will caution is that you want to make sure that you don't put too much heat for too long, because you can scorch your paper, and you really don't need to do that. So just do a little bit and then leave it to the side, and look at all of that beautiful gold foil. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Okay, now we are not finished with the embossing either, so let's go ahead and take this piece of the Very Vanilla, and I'm going to show you this beautiful punch. So you see it's got different grooves right here. So the smallest one is, I believe, 1/2 inch, and the next one up is 3/4 of an inch, and then the next one is 1 inch. And that is where we are going to work for today's project. So I'm just going to slide this in. And you have two options here. You've got a fancier end and then a more blunt end. And actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do the blunt end just so that you can see the two together, because I already did the fancy end on my sample. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and punch the other end as well. There we go. So now we have our banner. Alright, let's bring the embossing buddy back over here. Give it a little swipey swipe. Alright, and then we're going to use Trust Me, You're Lovely sentiment. I think this is very pretty, and of course I'm still using that Versamark ink. And let's see if I can get this lined up here. I need to clean my block. I was using it for another project. So there's a lovely green ring around it. Which of course I didn't realize until I was looking through it just now. So that's kind of embarrassing. I really do clean up after myself, I promise. Alright, let's get the gold powder and just give it a little drizzle across our paper here. Now, I've had people ask, how many times can you reuse the embossing powder? And the truth is, I can sprinkle it, put it back in the pot, sprinkle it, put it back in the pot, over and over and over and over again until I've used it all up. So it doesn't hurt it at all to sprinkle it out and then put it back into the pot. So you don't have to worry about wasting any of it, because you can put it right back in the pot and use it again. Alright, so that's good to know. And that jar of embossing powder really is going to last you a long time. So it's wonderful stuff. It doesn't take very much. And it looks just absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. So, alright, I'm heating the gun up again just a little bit. And there we go. Alright. Now you always want to make sure that you set the heat tool off to the side somewhere, all the way in the open, so that it can cool off without catching anything on fire or melting anything, or, you know, any of those other public safety reasons for putting it off to the side. Okay, now let's put this beautiful card together, shall we? Now, I have already gone ahead and stamped and embossed the inside, but I just wanted to show you. I took that same leaf cluster and embossed on the very vanilla, and then I just used black ink, but you could just as well put the embossed sentiment on the inside and it would look beautiful too. I kind of got lazy, but that's okay. Alright, and then I'm going to use that fabulous new Stampin' Seal, and remember, always a super light touch with the Stampin' Seal. I have been seeing that folks are struggling with it, and you know, you don't want to manhandle it at all. Just really nice and easy gliding, and it will work perfectly for you every time, okay? So we've got our Stampin' Seal on there, and we're just going to layer this beautiful panel onto the front of our card base. Just like so. And then I'm going to run a layer of seal right down the middle of this banner, just so that I can put that little piece on there. Okay, just like so. And then I'm going to use some little mini dimensionals to put on the back side of it to attach it down to our card. And this is really a simple project, but it looks beautiful, and people are always so in awe over the heat embossing. It's like a magic trick, right? So you're this fabulous magician that puts on this great show, and you make a beautiful project and everyone cheers. It's great. Alright, here we go. Let's take the backs off. Boop. Starting to lose them. There it is. I thought, where did it go? I know I dropped it. Alright, now we're good. Okay, and then we're going to put this piece right here across our card. Just like that. Very good. Uh-oh. There. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to take the braided trim and I'm going to make a bow. Now you'll notice that I have a piece of just regular old Scotch tape on the end, and that's to keep it from unbraiding, which it is very, very prone to do. So I'm going to tell you a little word of advice is to go ahead and use the tape trick. And I'm going to show you how to do it here in just a moment. And it's really simple and easy, but it's going to save you a heck of a lot of heartache and headache, okay? So I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape, and it doesn't need to be a big piece. You see I've got just a little piece right here. And I'm going to put it over the line of where I'm going to cut, but I want the cut line to be in the middle of the tape. So I want the tape to kind of straddle the line of where I'm going to cut. Now that's going to make sense here in just a second, but basically you want to wrap the tape over the section that you're planning to cut. Okay? And so I'm just wrapping it around a couple of times, and I'm pressing it down kind of snug. This is just to attach it to the tape. And then I'm taking my snips and I'm going to cut in between, like right in the middle of the tape, so that it has a little piece of tape on the end of the bow and a little piece of tape left over on the spool. Okay, now what that does is it keeps your spool ribbon, or spool trim rather, from unwinding, and then it also keeps your little bow from unwinding. Okay, and then I'm going to use a glue dot, and I'm going to ball it up into one of those fun little ribbon buggers, and I'm going to stick it to the back of my bow knot right there, and just put that bow right there. Okay, now once I've got the bow in place, I can take this end and I'm going to pull off that tape. Now I'm pinching it down pretty snug so that it won't unwind on me. And I don't want it to undo my bow either, so I'm squeezing it pretty snug and then just sliding the tape off of the end, just like so. And that's going to help keep your braid intact, and it's going to keep it from fraying on you. All right, so there you have it. And I think I need to maybe trim just a tiny bit because that was a little long. There we go. All right, friends, there you have it. Today's project, Make It Monday, and part of the Stamper Showcase blog hop. Of course, make sure that you visit my blog. I'll have the link down below so that you can hop along with this month's blog hop with us. You're absolutely going to love it. I know that everyone has some amazing projects to share with you. And of course, you'll be able to purchase any of the supplies that you see that you'd like to have on my website, danasullivan.stampinup.net, and I'll put the supplies down in the description below here as well. So if there's anything I used today that you'd like to have now, you'll be able to purchase it that way. Thank you all so much for watching, my friends. I hope you had a fantastic time with me. I enjoy sharing these projects with you. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any of the projects that I post. Until next time, folks, see you later. Bye for now.